First things first, take a trial lesson. If you can get to the professor's university or their studio and take a lesson with them in person, by all means, do that. If you can't, do it over Zoom, do it over Skype, do it over FaceTime. It doesn't matter. But it is important that you choose a school where you feel safe, comfortable, inspired to learn by that teacher, because you're gonna see them every week. You're gonna get their teaching style. You should take the time out of your day to make sure that the school that you choose has the teacher that you want for the next 4 years.
One of the key decisions you're going to make is whether you're going to a university or a conservatory. So there's a few questions you should ask yourself as you make this decision. One of those is, are you 100% sure about pursuing music performance? Or are you interested in other areas of study in other fields? This is anything from music education to music business to STEM, or really anything outside of that. If you aren't 100% sure that you're going into music performance, then you should probably go to a university, because there you're going to be exposed to other fields, you're going to be able to try different things out, and you're going to be able to change your major if you decide music performance is not for you. Whereas if you go to a conservatory and you are sure that you're gonna go into music performance, then you're gonna have a very specialized education that allows you to really focus on your craft. Second question is, do you have any hobbies or clubs that you want to be involved in during college? A conservatory won't have as many club options for things that aren't in the arts. So for example, if you want to play a sport like hockey or soccer, you might have an easier time getting involved in that club or even finding that club at a university. So if there's a club or a hobby that's really important to you, you're probably going to want to go to a university. Third question, do you enjoy being surrounded by other musicians or by people with a broad range of interests and fields and areas of study? Because at a conservatory, you're going to be surrounded by other musicians and other artists all the time. If that's the environment where you focus the best, where everyone else around you has a similar interest and you're all inspiring each other's art, then that's going to be the place for you. But if you are inspired by people who don't do what you do and might have different interests and different passions and different fields, then you might want to go to a university, because you're going to be surrounded by other musicians as well as a lot of other people who have different interests. And lastly, one of the biggest differences between universities and conservatories is the size of the school. Universities are bigger, conservatories are smaller. Universities sometimes have music schools that are either bigger or smaller, like conservatory size. So you're going to want to look into this, understand what you want, and figure out if the size of that school and if the size of their music school is what you're looking for.
When thinking about your instrument studio, there's a couple things to consider, such as the size of the studio, meaning is there going to be 6 clarinetists or is there going to be 30? Do you think you would thrive in a place where there's only a couple of people, or do you think you would thrive in a place where there's a whole lot of people? You have to think about the playing level of the studio. I recommend going and visiting your university on a weekend where there's a recital, so you're able to see everybody in the same place and hear the playing level of the people there. I also recommend visiting a studio class. Does everybody get along, or does it seem kind of cutthroat and like everybody hates each other? Or is it a place where there's good criticism coming, there's good vibes, people are laughing, smiling, having a good time? Or does it kind of feel like it's forced? And is there friendly competition? Like, would you show up and be the best player there? Would you show up and be the worst player there? Or would you be somewhere in the middle of the pack? These are some things that you want to consider when choosing your studio, because you're going to be there for the next 4 years.
A very important factor is student life. Are the students there happy? So you need to make an effort to go and meet students who go to the school that you're thinking about. Call them up on the phone, meet them for coffee, text them, talk to them, and ask them about their experience at that school, both in the education and outside of it. What are their social lives like? What are they involved in? Are they happy there? Do they miss home a lot? And it will also help you decide, are the students that you're meeting and talking to your kind of people? Are they the people you vibe with and you want to be friends with? So talk to students at the school you're thinking about and figure out if that's the kind of place you want to be.
Finances. School costs a lot of money nowadays, right? So try and get as much money out of your institutions as possible. Wait until the last second if you have to, but email everybody you can about getting more scholarship. Apply for as many scholarships as you can. Apply for as many small scholarships, $1,000 scholarships or $500 scholarships. They add up, they add up to be a pretty great amount as opposed to just applying to one or two $20,000 scholarship places, Like, it's important to get money from anywhere you can, and really try and limit as many loans as you take out or as your parents take out as possible. It's an important thing that some students may not think about, but it really is important that you try to get as much money from your university or other outside places as possible.
Next up is location. You need to think about whether you want to be close to home or farther from home. A lot of people want to stay close where they can see their families all the time, visit old friends, and be in the city that they grew up in. And a lot of people want to go across the country or even across the world to go to school. But you need to figure out what is right for you. I know people on both sides, and a lot of them love where they ended up. And then second, you need to think about, is this the city where you want to start building your career? This city that you're going to college in is where you will start your career as a musician. So it has to be a city that, one, has opportunities, and two, you enjoy. You might love the restaurants, you might love the shopping, you might love the hiking, but you need to make sure it's a place where you enjoy spending time, because you will be there for the next 4 years.
Think about the reputation of your institution. Is there a lot of people that are coming out of there as great musicians, as great people, or when people graduate, people go, oh, they went to that school, oh yeah, they had this teacher, and I heard this was going on, and that sort of thing? Or is it, oh wow, you go to whatever school, like, wow, I heard that student was amazing, like, what's it like studying with that teacher? Like, man, you guys seem to have a good time over there. Don't just go to a school because it's a big name. While that may factor into your decision, choose a place that's right for you, that you feel comfortable in, that you enjoy, where you feel like you can live there for the next 4 years, because it's important. And what's the alumni network like at your school? You have to think, you're gonna have a degree from these universities, so what happens to the school students after they graduate? Is it we went there for 4 years and that's it? Or is it once you graduate, it's you went there too? Like, oh my gosh, like, yeah man, let's link up, let's go eat, I've got a business opportunity for you. Really think about these things, because it is important for your career.
College is not just a stepping stone to your career, it's also a place where you're going to spend 4 or more years of your life, meet lifelong friends, discover more about yourself, and explore what it means to be an adult for the first time. The last factor, and what I think is the most important, is gut instinct. If you can afford it, visit all of the schools that you're choosing between. And while you're there, while you're on campus, while you're meeting other people, I know it sounds cliche, but you're kind of gonna know deep down where you really want to end up. Thank you so much for watching today. We hope this put you on a good path for making your college decision. It can be a very tough one to make, but we're always here if you want to reach out. We'd be happy to talk to you and help you come to the choice, because Ariel and I both did when we were seniors in high school, and it was a tough choice for both of us. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We wish you the best making your college decision, and we hope you find a place where you feel at home.